7 years ago, I once said that I thought it would make sense for Valve to have like a timed exclusive on Linux. 7 years ago, and people still use that against me. I'm like, guys, like this was 7 years ago. Like, I don't think that anymore. Can we chill the fuck out?
If they call it an Xbox Ally or something like that, let's say this, this year, it is the first time that from my understanding, that Sony exclusives will be on Xbox.
Dude,
I think that's kind of funny.
I hope that Sony sues the shit out of Microsoft over that. Welcome to Off the Console, the hottest podcast talking about gaming and news, tech news, and anything nerdy generally. This week, I'm joined by my co-hosts, High Tech Lowlife and James, aka The Brink, aka Games Revealed. How's it going, my guys?
It's going good. It's going great.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. I'm out of time right now. That's why my setup's a little weird and why I might sound a little different.
Is that the beach I hear? Are you just vacationing right now?
Yeah, are you on the beach?
I'm actually not. I went up to help my brother with something. He needed me because I'm the only one reliable with tech in the family.
I feel that, man.
And it's a good opportunity to go to Micro Center and hopefully get myself a GPU.
Ooh.
Nice. Hell yeah.
He happens to live near a Micro Center too, so that's a win-win for both of us.
Well, that narrows it down because there's only like 8 of them in the United States.
Yep. That really does. Yeah, that does. Are you getting the 9070 or are you attempting to?
The 9070 XT.
Well, yeah.
Nice.
Who would get the 9070? Unless that's the only thing you get, I guess. They do trade-ins too, don't they? So you could trade in a GPU.
Do they do trade-ins? I've never heard of them.
I think they do. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they're thinking about trading in their GPU, their older GPU, to get 9070.
Well, I have an older 2080 Super just floating around.
Maybe they'll take it. I don't know about that. My 3090 is too hot for my room, and it overheats the computer, so I'm thinking about getting a 9070 now and trading it in.
What if you got a 5090 instead?
I mean, that's a good joke. Like, could I get one? And first off, could I get one? Could I find one? Second, how would that resolve my heat issue of the 3090? Because it's going to be what? It's got to be a lot hotter than the 3090 in my room. Like, yeah. I don't get how people run these computers with the 3090, 5090, and all that in certain rooms in their houses. Like, you got to keep that thing cold or something. Like, I had it in a basement and I didn't have. And it's cold here where I live in Utah. And so I didn't have issues, but I've on the second floor now with my office and it overheats. So I don't know what people do.
Yeah, it gets really warm. I have a 3080 and it gets really warm in here. And so like that window over here kind of keeps the temperature cool enough if it's open, like if the blinds are open, but if the blind is closed, then it seals it off and it's freaking hot.
What if it's summertime though?
Well, he lives in the cold state. So
in the summer it only gets up to like 80, 90 degrees and I have an air conditioner. So
yeah, but even I mean same here, like we get to about 80, 90 and the AC is just not powerful enough. I want to keep my room. If I keep my door shut because I have kids, but maybe that's my problem.
Yeah. I don't keep my door shut because
maybe we should do what Linus Tech Tip does and just have all of his computing stuff in a room. In like a room in his basement, and it's all liquid cooled, and that liquid cooling system is hooked up to his like back like his outdoor pool. Yes,
that costs money.
Yeah, I know. And Linus has
fun project though. Because don't get me wrong. Like I have ideas.
Even if he had money, something tells me that if he didn't have a YouTube channel, he wouldn't be doing that.
Oh man, I like doing projects like that. If I had the money, that's all I'd be doing. I probably wouldn't do YouTube.
I mean, Linus has made like what 4 or 5 videos about that little project, including the part where it fails and has to redo the entire thing. So I'm sure that makes him quite a bit of money too.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he enjoys doing it.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, we're besides the GPU talk and the Linus Tech Tip pool talk, we're also going to be covering some other fun topics today. We're talking about the supposed Xbox handheld that's coming down the pipeline here, the third party one and the first party one. We're gonna be talking about let's see, the SteamOS 3.7 preview. We're talking about Pokemon Go being acquired by the Saudi Arabian government, which should be a fun non-political topic, and a whole lot more. So yeah, the first thing we like to do on the show is talk about the games that we've played or the things that we've done this week. And High Tech, what did you do this week?
So I got myself Rise of the Ronin, or rather, Koei Tecmo sent me a key for it, and let me tell you, I haven't tried it out since the patch that came out yesterday on the Steam Deck. But when I tried it out when it first launched on the Steam Deck, let's just say it didn't run all that well. It like runs at a 30 FPS, but it just stutters so hard sometimes. It makes it practically unplayable. And I'm gonna try it out later when I get home. I brought my ROG Ally with me this time because I wanted to try it on there, and it runs a little better. I would imagine so because ROG Ally X on Bazzite too. I should mention too.
Nice, hell yeah,
Nice.
James.
Yeah, doing a bunch of different things where I avoid gaming. Reformatting my PC. I'm gonna be dual booting it, I think, this time because I'm just getting tired of. I don't think it's truly a hardware issue. I think it's my room overheating the computer issue, or at least heating it enough to where it just has issues. And then Windows is also up. Windows is a whole issue on its own. So I'm gonna be switching over to dual booting Linux for as much as I can, and then Windows for my game development for Unreal. But this is like one of our topics is going to be the Bazzite DX, and that's actually probably the flavor I'm going to go for if I can, because I've been getting into Godot this week and I've been enjoying it. I definitely have more faith as they've been upgrading it, and so one day I could see myself releasing a game using Godot engine. I do like Unreal, but it is fairly bloated. I will admit to that, but I'm going to be playing with the two, so it's fun. It's fun stuff that I'm working on.
Nice, hell yeah. This week I've been working on Godot as well. I've got my game Doodling's Arcade Sports Ball, which is now on sale for the Steam summer or the spring sale.
Insert trailer here.
Insert trailer here. And, I've been getting the code ready to actually do a new small update and to open source it. I'm gonna make the game's code freely available, which I'm really excited about. And I've seen some people joining my Revolt server and helping me get stuff done over there, which has been really cool.
Yeah, I joined it too. I didn't help you do anything there, but I joined
it and did nothing.
Yeah, no, it's
some scrub. Okay.
Well, it's cool. Like Revolt is basically Discord, but not closed source and proprietary, which is nice. And I've heard rumblings that they're looking to federate it with either the Fediverse or coming up with their own application specific federation ability. So because one cool thing about Revolt is you can actually host your own server, right? So it's not like you just create a server which is like a chat room, but you can actually set up your own dedicated instance of Revolt. But being able to peer them is not something that's available yet. So once they come up with their federation service, you'll be able to have one Revolt account on any server and then log into different rooms or whatever. It's confusing because they're called servers, but you'd have one account and you could just take it anywhere without having to create new ones, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, it always bugged me a little bit why Discord called them servers, but I mean,
yeah,
it's whatever. They made the program; they get to name it whatever they want.
Yep,
even if it's wrong.
Yeah, but I think calling Revolt an instance, if you have your own instance, I think that kind of clears things up. But yeah, anyway, I'll probably put a link if you guys are cool with it to my Revolt server, an invite link in the description.
Yeah. Check out the description down below, and his Revolt server is gonna be there.
Yeah, we've already got almost 80 people in there, which is pretty neat. And speaking of the description and the links below, you can also subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. You can follow our RSS feed, podcast.subscribe2.me, And you can engage with us on the Fediverse at Off the Console Show at podcast.subscribe2.me. That's a hard one to say. Cool. All right, first topic today, the supposed Xbox handheld. High Tech, you want to tell us about this?
So, Microsoft is supposedly teaming up with some sort of PC manufacturer to make a handheld of some sort. They're saying it's unmistakably Xbox in that, I don't know, it runs Windows, I guess? I don't exactly know what makes it so Xbox.
It'll be branded Xbox, almost guaranteed. I can just
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah. It's branded Xbox.
It's going to be a green Asus ROG Ally. I can almost guarantee it's going to probably go that route.
It's unmistakably Xbox in an era where everything is an Xbox.
So I talked about this on my news video this week, which was yesterday, and a bunch of people said that another news site had confirmed that it was Asus who is actually going to be the third-party manufacturer here. So Asus will be the OEM for this.
Oh.
Which I think is fascinating. But I also think that Microsoft is going to be like using this as a test bed for their eventual like Xbox 4 handheld. They're not going to call it that, but that's what it will be. And interestingly, Fortnite and Epic anti-cheat services are coming to Windows on Snapdragon, and I believe that this is because these handhelds from Microsoft are going to be ARM based with a AMD GPU. That's just my speculation. That's why I bumped that next story up.
I mean, it definitely could happen, as AMD is working on ARM APUs, and so that will be interesting.
What is also interesting is that Epic is once again snubbing Linux.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that even if Valve were to make the ARM deck, it's going to be snubbed there too.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a point where they might they'll either double down and try to never support it, or there'll be a point where, okay, there's millions of Steam Decks out there. When are you going to start supporting it? There's going to be like this threshold.
Well,
I'm hoping.
Well, the thing though is that Timothy does things just to spite Valve.
Timothy.
Remember how Valve banned NFT games?
Yeah.
Guess what Epic did? Right after. Mm-hmm. They allowed them, despite also banning them in the past too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go like. That's an interesting one. I don't know if I'd go as far as spiteful for that. I'd say changing their pricing, though, is probably a little bit more competitive / spiteful, because they've changed their pricing specifically because of Valve and Steam.
When you say pricing, you mean like the amount they take?
Yeah.
Well, I mean that was probably their best move that they've done in regards to the Epic Game Store.
I agree, but
yeah,
the stuff they were saying definitely did sound like a little bit of spite.
Yeah, I think that Timothy Sweeney is I think he's or is he Edward Scissorhands now? I don't know. He's like
oh, let me close the door real quick.
Yeah, Tim Sweeney is like the ex-Amazon guy, right? Who is like, we never validated our core assumptions before we like spent a bunch of money to fight Valve. And that's what Epic is. Like Epic has like this idea of what they want the game industry to look like, and what that is like a nepotistic thing that all things benefit them, you know? And the gamers don't want that. And so that's why they're still struggling to this day to like get people on board with the Epic way of the games industry. And I just think it's a load of horseshit.
And outside of that too, Epic also bought a bunch of resources that people really like. They bought Bandcamp. Yeah. If you guys know what that is?
Yeah, and then they sold it, didn't they?
Yeah, because they apparently didn't make them enough money or some shit like that. They also bought ArtStation too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And
they've also
started leaving that because I don't know, because people started training on their data or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what the story is there.
They also have bought like a bunch of indie studios, like Psionics and
Harmonix.
Harmonix. Yeah, Harmonix. That was a big one that I was really TO'd about.
I believe
But
Quixel, some other like really big game developer companies they've bought too.
Dude.
yeah,
And they
The
were
thing
on a
with-
good they were on a good track, and then they screwed up so the Epic game launcher you could download and buy, and they gave away assets and stuff for game developers, and then they went to their own website and just they completely fucked up the whole process. I don't think it was their intention. I think they wanted to make a better product, and they ended up making a drastically worse product. Because I'm going to give them leeway on this. Like, they've been pretty, I think, kind to developers, but they just made the experience so much worse. And it's so frustrating.
That's such an epic move.
Yeah.
That's such an epic gamer
Yeah.
move.
the thing that I find really suspect about the decision makers at Epic is they bought Psionics. I mean, Harmonix, right? They bought Harmonix. Harmonix. I'm not knocking on Rock Band. Rock Band was awesome. Dance Central was really fun, and they had like Amplitude and Frequency on the PS2. Those games are awesome.
They were also the original developers of Guitar Hero too.
They were, yes, but Psionics. Oh my God, Harmonix. Rock Band 3 or was it Rock Band 4 put Mad Catz out of business. Like they almost put Red Octane out of business, right? Because Harmonix, they make decisions based on the fun about their games, not about like making money. And so it's like I don't think there could be a greater like corporate culture clash than Harmonix and Epic Games. I just don't see why they did that.
I don't know, man. Well, the only thing
I'll
that
have to
really
look at.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'll have to look into Epic more because I didn't realize Epic was so nepotistic, and because I definitely and that is a little political these days, nepotism. But it's man, that's frustrating. I'm glad that Godot's getting better though. Like I'm all here on Godot. They just for 3D stuff and for stuff I like to do, which is more like Half-Life, like the modding period of like 20 years ago when it started with Half-Life. I love that period, and so once Godot can do that, I'm off Unreal.
I've been trying to figure out how to set up like a WAD type situation, like how Doom has WADs in Godot, and I don't think that it's possible right now. Which kind of bums me out because like what I'd really like to do is have my game's code be open source and have like a demo available with a WAD that you could just copy and paste into the open source code base, and there you go. There's the game.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like that's entirely possible right now, so I'm kind of working around that. But that's an idea
from
for you guys.
Doom's open source code. I mean,
Huh?
I'm sure we could learn from how Doom did it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Doom's open source is open.
He could write it. Like Gardner could write a thing, but that takes time and effort to write a plugin or an extension.
I mean,
And the way Godot does it right now is they package like your executable and all of the assets as one bundle. It's like an archive, basically, a self-executing archive. And that's done for a lot of reasons. One of them is because it's faster to have all of that stuff. They can also, as far as I understand it, Godot can only read and write from the executable archive or from the user : / like schema, right? So they've basically they're isolating it as much as possible so that your code can't, like your Godot code can't go out and like exfiltrate a bunch of information from your server from the
your host?
computers, from the host that's running the machine. So like it's kind of a security thing, but it would be really cool if you could specify like, this is a file that I want as a resource, and I want to be, and it has to live within like the Godot file structure. and then you could access it from there. I think that would be really neat.
Man,
They've gotta have some type of ability, at least in the future, because
Yeah.
like
from my
modding,
understanding,
right?
Unity and Unreal can do it. They can access external resources for. In fact, how do they do settings and stuff like that?
So they have so the way that so there might be the system that's already in place. I just don't know. I'm not super well versed in Godot, but you can in the project settings you can specify like where the game's like read write settings live.
Okay.
So and then you access that through an abstraction like schema. So it's like user : / and then whatever the path name is.
Okay.
So you can load and do that stuff, but then I have to do that like file parsing, archival stuff, loading it into Godot. And that means that everything has to be done dynamically in the code rather than specifying it in the editor, which makes it much more resilient when you go to move things around and whatever.
So I do have a question though. It makes it seem like Godot games just aren't moddable by default. Is that what you're getting at?
No, they're definitely moddable. Because like what you can like, there's a tool that you can use to extract Godot assets from an archive game, assuming that they're not like encrypted or something. But you can like unarchive like actual builds of Godot games, and then you can modify the files and re-archive them, and it.
But no like simple way to like load mods without having to modify like the internal files, right?
As far as I've seen it, I haven't seen that. So I would imagine that there must be some way to do that. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, Slay the Spire 2 is on Godot this time, and it's supposed to be even more moddable than Slay the Spire 1, as per the developers.
Really?
So it might be worth hitting them up to see what their secret is.
It's open source too. So here's the thing: like Godot in relative time frame to like Unity and Unreal is a baby, like legit a baby.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's been out for a while. Unreal is what, 30 years old technically. Like there's been a lot of time to marinate, but that also with that comes a lot of baggage with the Unreal Engine. But to bring this all back into the Xbox system, because I really am excited about this. I really am curious what Microsoft is going to do for this Asus version and what Windows is going to be like. Because I've assumed and I've been hoping that Microsoft's going to make a game version, like a game mode, kind of like how SteamOS has a desktop and a game mode. I'm really hoping that Windows goes this route and really limits any external resources accessing it. And that will be a big game changer. And I don't really think it's going to be that hard for them to do. It was them just not having foresight, surprise, surprise, them not having foresight. And they even have executives that say that there is going to be an AI burst. And so I could see them really doubling down into this really late. So it would be interesting. Do you think Snapdragon? So do you think the official handheld by Microsoft will be Snapdragon and then this Asus one, because what they'll probably just do is rebrand the next version of Asus Ally as Xbox. I guarantee that Asus has been working on something that they were going to release like an Ally 2 probably this year. Do you think maybe Xbox will grab that and rebrand it?
Well, I think so, and I think there will be some advantages because I mean, technically speaking, the Ally and Ally X don't have quote unquote Xbox buttons. What they have instead are buttons for like Armory Crate and all that stuff, which cannot be used for things like the Steam overlay or even Microsoft's own Xbox game bar.
Well, they could map it. I know it isn't a BIOS specific, but they could release a BIOS update, or they could just update like it.
And like from what I understand,
not hard for them to.
From what I understand, though, not even like Aya Neo has a quote unquote real Xbox button. It's just the Windows G. It's just mapped to a Windows G in the BIOS. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but that's so them. They just have to swap out those buttons and then just map it. It'd be very easy for them to map this for Asus.
Yeah. Also, one more weird quirk too is that the allies buttons, the menu buttons, the armory crate button and the other armory crate button, you can't hold those down for functions at all. Like, you know how Steam has like you hold down Steam and press X to pull the keyboard? On Bazzite, you can't do that because it just switches the analog stick to mouse button. It seems like it's a hardware thing, if I'm not mistaken.
It very much could be. It could also just be Bazzite doesn't support it. There's a lot of different layers with that. Yeah, it's
That's my
it's a
only
hard
real
one. I don't
pet
even.
peeve.
Yeah, it's definitely not a perfect solution, but at least it runs games really well.
It does, yeah.
But you're gonna have to be hooked up to an outlet.
Yeah, I mean, I think Microsoft will probably have an ARM-based solution for this in the at least when they release their Xbox 4 handheld or whatever it is. Would that be Xbox 4 or would that be Xbox 5?
I was counting earlier. It's Xbox 5 and they should call it that. Yeah. Honestly, if they really wanted to do right by everything, or they could even release this and call this an Xbox 4 and then match the PS5 or 6 when it comes out and do Xbox 6 and just clean the slate. Just make it easy for everyone.
6? No way. That's crazy.
Okay,
no, it would be
Switch
the X
is crazy.
Xbox.
XXXXX. No, Switch 2 is crazy. That is the first time that they've really done anything like that. So Xbox could also get in line and just be like, hopefully it's not Xbox Series X2. Like,
oh my God, that would be perfect.
Xbox Series Z.
No, it would be the Xbox Series 1, guys.
Xbox Series 360 1.
Xbox Series 1 again.
Xbox Series 180.
Oh,
what if they just called it? What if they just rebooted and just called it the Xbox?
I'd be.
Oh yeah, that would be something. I would not be okay with that.
2027.
I would be okay with it because I'm getting tired of saying Xbox Series X or Xbox One. I'm getting tired of the stupid names.
The Xbox One, you can shorten it to Xbone.
You can do Xbone, that's right.
Yeah.
But it'll be Xbox parentheses 2027 if you look up the Wikipedia article, if they do that.
Yeah.
That's like my one pet peeve with rebooted movies. When I have to type it, when I have to specify, I want to watch the Planet of the Apes. I want to talk about the Planet of the Apes, but not the one with Mark Wahlberg in it, but the original one from 1971 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doom's like that too. Doom 2016.
Yeah.
But Doom is like
man.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Doom 2016 came out and just before and everyone was all skeptical about how it was gonna suck and then it came out and it was awesome.
Oh, man, I want to go back to be fair though, the multiplayer beta didn't inspire any confidence.
No, but I've never played the multiplayer in the new Doom.
I don't play Doom for multiplayer.
I didn't either, but that's the only thing people got. That's the only thing they released before that.
Yeah.
People are very skeptical, especially gamers are very negative.
Well, it protects them from making a $70 mistake.
In today's world, if you buy something and it's bad, that's on you with all the reviews and gameplay out. You don't have to buy day one. If you're reserving it day one and it sucks, that's kind of on you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I mean, unless I want to support a studio, I don't reserve a game before it comes out. But with the Xbox handheld, if they come out with one this year, there's a good chance I will try to pick that up over anything else. The SteamOS one is interesting, but the Legion Go's non-SteamOS version doesn't give me a lot of hope that the SteamOS version is going to be much better than the Steam Deck. And why would I do that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, honestly, no. But the good news is SteamOS is coming out for every handheld supposedly. So we'll hear more about that later, probably.
Yeah. Before that though, we've got the Steam Year in Review 2024. We're 3 months into 2025, and Valve, in their infinite Valve time, have given us their year in review. What's this about, High Tech?
Well, I mean, if you get as much data as Valve does, then I'm sure it'll take a while to compile it and make some conclusions about it. So let's talk about this. So 2024 was a remarkable year for the Steam platform. We brought Steam to a new continent. I believe the continent was Australia.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they shipped out
It was
game recording. You see some new features. Discovery and shopping. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think Steam's discovery features are very good. I've made a couple of videos on why their discovery algorithms suck. They'll give you games based on arbitrary, very arbitrary categorizations, like is a game single player,
Mm-hmm.
or is the game a multiplayer game, yada yada yada. So they brought a couple of new features in regards to. They also gave us the advanced access label, which is different from early access. Because remember how like people would release games, and if you bought like the more expensive version of the game, you'd get like a week ahead.
Yeah.
So Valve did something good. They called it advanced access instead of early access because Valve already has an early access system. But I still think the whole advanced access concept sucks.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it. And solely because unless it's Half-Life 3 that we're talking about, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like-
it's more like ransom access.
Yeah, like
kind
it's
of.
one thing if a reviewer gets a key early because I mean they're trying to play the game and review it on time.
Yeah.
It's another thing when when you're releasing a game like a week early, but for only for those of us that like pay more money. Like
Yeah.
they could just make the release date. Because if you really think about it, they're not giving you early access. They're just making everyone else wait a week.
Yeah. Yeah, the game's ready for public release, obviously, because you're giving it to some of the public. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
I will say, though, like, I like the fact that Valve is being more responsive to what's going on in the industry. And I will also say that I like how, and they might touch on this, but like they've done a bunch of big moves to help curtail some of the more shitty aspects of the game industry and its impulses. So,
Yeah.
I do like that. And they set rules. That Valve is using their position to set like rules and set the tone of what the industry should be. And if there's one company I trust to do that, it's Valve.
They're the closest thing to a good guy I think the industry has. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think, and like I've mentioned in the past, like because all these companies are coming back, they keep leaving and coming back to Steam, and they're doing it for a reason because they're losing sales and they're screwing themselves over. Valve, there's been no other time I think than now that Valve has so much leeway,
Leverage.
like just influence over the industry as of now, and they really should be labeling more and being a little bit petty about it, in my opinion. Obviously, not to like be detrimental, but like I honestly wish they went a little bit further and called this something like a little bit more predatory.
Yeah. I mean,
This is at least good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know Valve is trying. I know there isn't much Valve can do, but at the very least, they are trying to like help out consumers. So let's see another thing too.
They could do a ton if they wanted. They just might lose business. But
Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality. Let's see, playing and sharing. So they made it so that when games enter their preload states, it shows up more prominently. Let's see what else. Let's see, game update exceptions. You can choose when a game updates itself. Like for example, they have Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. They have that set to wait till I launch the game. That way, it doesn't download in the background. I mean, this is pretty useful for those that have metered internet connections. I know sometimes. I mean, I mean, maybe I have. I don't know if I have a defined limit, but I don't have like a strict limit, so to speak. Right? Do you guys have limits in your internet?
No.
when I had Comcast, because it was the only option where I was at, it was limited to, I think, like a terabyte of data, which if you're a content creator or anything else, that's not a lot. And I would, without a doubt, I just paying $80 a month, maybe around $80 a month. Without always would happen. I'd go over the limit up to, and they have a max where you can go over, so you can get upcharged $100, up to $100. I was always paying that upcharge, so I was paying almost $200 for internet. There's nothing I could do because it was and this is another shitty thing. We paid for the infrastructure for Comcast to put it in, and then we get zero back. And it's a little bit political on that, but
dude, Comcast sucks.
Yeah,
it
Comcast
does
is
suck.
evil.
It really does suck. I really hate it. I wish there was more options, but there are now. Like my town has where I live is Lehigh. They put in fiber everywhere. And they have citywide fiber, but then they work with 6 different fiber companies to provide internet. So I have 6 options now.
You have municipal internet?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Kind of. Not really. Like I have to pay, it's not rolled into my city bill or anything like that, but it is competitive, meaning they have 6 companies that have to compete with each other. And it's installed up to my house for free. So
your town installed and owns the infrastructure, but they lease it to ISPs.
And that's how it needs to happen with Comcast, because we paid for the infrastructure, but then we're getting double tax once again every time that it's shit. So it's like and this is just to help people understand what's going on with your guys' internet. People sometimes don't understand this. You're being taxed for a lot of people's infrastructure. Tax money goes into that, but then Comcast can then say what they charge. You don't get a say. You don't have any other people that help leverage for you, and so you're not getting any benefit. It's a crappy system that people need to be aware of, I think.
Yeah,
dude, all major internet ISPs suck. I have Verizon Fios. They don't have data caps, to my knowledge, but they still suck because I'm paying for gigabit internet, but it's very rare that I get that. Usually, it ends up being like effectively half of that, and I'm hardwired into my lap. I'm hardwired in on my desktop.
Is that fiber?
Yeah, Fios is a fiber optic.
Fios is fiber.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have really overburdened the node on that. Because even with fiber, there's nodes, and so they oversell. That's another crappy thing that these companies do, that they don't put enough nodes in, and so they oversell and saturate it. That's why you don't get enough bandwidth. Typically. Yeah,
I have a local ISP that they own the infrastructure, and they ran fiber optic to my house, and now I have fiber. So actually, I moved to this town because of the ISP. I didn't want to live anywhere else because this was like the best ISP in the country as far as I understood.
I mean, with what you do, you effectively run your own company from your house. So like, that's probably the best move you could have made.
Yeah, and I also get like I pay for 300 megabit, and I get 300 megabit.
How much do you pay for it? If you want me,
it's like $80 a month. It's pretty expensive, but it's symmetrical. Actually, no, it's They just lowered the price. Actually, it's like $55 a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
And that's actually including a static IP as well. So that's actually fairly decent.
Could you go?
I think that's a really good deal.
Could you get an amazing deal? Could you get more? Could you get a higher tier version that's faster?
Yep, I can go up to 1.5 gigabits. Yeah.
How much would that cost you?
It's a lot more, and it would have to be like a dedicated business line at that point, which I just have residential right now.
I thought you had a dedicated business. Okay.
Yeah, I pay $80 for my Fios bill for gigabit.
Oh, here's another fire truck.
Until it's $100, over $100, I don't think it's that expensive. Yeah,
that's you've been like screwed by Comcast. I've
been screwed, and so anything below like 100 is an amazing deal for me. But
I understand, man. I did. Comcast sucks. All right,
they do, and they're so blatantly like asinine about it because they'll say, well, based on averages. Even when I've called them, they're like, well, based on averages, people don't use over a terabyte. I'm like, well. I'm not like the average person. If people don't, then what's wrong with me?
Dude, you're not a statistic. You're a person.
I know. I hate them so much.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're like mustache twirling villains, dude. Like they're so evil.
And I keep getting telemarket calls from Xfinity that I believe Comcast owns them. Yeah,
No,
so
they
screw that.
rebranded. They rebranded. That's how bad. I still call them Comcast because
Yeah.
it is Xfinity, but they've rebranded.
Dude,
for that
screw
reason.
Xfinity and Comcast.
Yeah, though they rebranded because they were so bad.
All right.
We had I one more thing. Emily, when she moved in with me, she had Spectrum, which was it's Time Warner cable or whatever.
Yeah.
She had Comcast, and when she moved in, not Comcast, Spectrum, and I had already been living here for like a year and a half, and when she moved in here, dude, they would not cancel her contract with her. And so I called them up and I like bitched them out and I was like, you need to take her off, close her account, whatever. And she's not paying a closing fee. And eventually I had to go into the Spectrum store with her modem and give it to them and be like, you guys need to leave her alone. They didn't stop calling her for 3 months. And 2 representatives from Spectrum showed up at my front door, dude. And I was like, you guys need to go away. I'm never going to use your service. You're evil. Anyway,
That
they're
is horrible. Oh
Yeah,
my
dude.
God. That's like some mafia stuff.
And the guy that showed up, because there was a guy and then a lady showed up. The guy who showed up at my door was like, well, what do you mean you don't want our service? I was like, I have fiber optic and it's a really good deal. And he goes, well, I could get you fiber optic for free. It would be subsidized by the government. I was like, I don't want that. I was like, why would I want free internet when I could have good internet that I pay for?
Where's the catch? Why weren't you giving it to me for free? Like, fuck that. Like, here's the problem with that. This makes me really upset, obviously.
Yeah.
I had Comcast call me because I canceled, and they're like, well, what can we do to sweeten the deal? It's like that. Like you, and the thing is, I was exempt from that cap, but then when you have to renew your contract or your price every year, they took, even though they said they weren't going to, they took it away from me. So I bitched them out. I try to be nice to customer service, but I was just like, there is nothing on this earth you can do right now to make me switch over to you. I'd rather use dial-up at this point. Yeah. It would suck, but I would rather go that route because you've treated me so poorly. And they still didn't get that. They're like, well, what can we do to get you? I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
You can leave me alone.
do you not understand? Like, I don't know why I didn't just hang up. I was just trying to be nice, but they don't understand. And they need to rewrite the customer service scripts because it just makes them look like idiots.
Yeah. Sorry, we've totally derailed.
I know. This is I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this though.
Oh yeah.
Dude, ISPs in the US are terrible. I'm sure they're a lot better in like Europe or something like that. If we have any international viewers, let us know your experiences. Do European ISPs suck as bad as American ISPs or Australian ISPs? I don't know, whatever.
Usually it's much better. And like I said, a lot of infrastructure is laid out by the government already. And a lot of those other countries have, I think, municipal or like they have public. But I'm sure with that even comes its own issues.
Yeah. So there is a lot more that we should get to.
Yeah.
They updated Steam Workshop. One of the big changes with Steam Workshop is that you can actually change what gets synced to what devices. So like one thing is that like sometimes there will be mods that like optimize games, but you don't need that on your high-powered gaming PC. But on the Steam Deck, it may be useful. Like Starbound is one such a game that I play that has Steam Workshop support and has optimization mods. Oh yeah, Steam Family Sharing. That's one of the biggest new features. So so you guys remember how it used to work?
Yeah.
So for the audience that they may not remember how it used to work, how it used to work is that you would join a family with a bunch of people, and then if you wanted to play a game from someone else's library, you could, but if they wanted to play another game from their library, it would kick you out. And I thought that was totally bogus, right? Now they made it make more sense. Like if say we were all in a family together, we could all play each other's games, and if we had like multiple copies of a game, like say for example Gardner and I had a copy of a game, then we could play two of us could be playing those copies of that game, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's just more common sense now. Instead of like locking out someone's entire library, you can just play another game from the library. And that's a
Yeah.
much better system.
Yeah. The one caveat, and people get butthurt about this, but I actually think it's fine, is you, in order to be part of a Steam family now, you actually have to like be on the same like general premises as the person. If you're not, then they'll detect that and be like, you guys don't live in the same household. You can't do this.
Yeah. It is a little bit of a bum because I did share with my sister who lives, 4 hours away. Like, okay, you can play some of my games when I'm not playing it.
Dude,
So that's the only bummer. But like what a family really means is like you have kids or you have your spouse at home, and that's how it's supposed to work. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
could you not like set up a VPN in your house, have your sister tunnel into your network, and then she just be in your house supposedly?
You probably could, but
You think
I
Valve
would
would detect it
rather
though? I
just
know
buy
they.
her the game that she wants to
I know
play.
Valve has anti DRM. They don't really like DRMs, but I don't know. But I think that usually means like international, right? Like they don't like you using DRM to like. They don't like you using VPNs to
VPN.
buy games in Argentina where they're a lot
Right.
cheaper, essentially. But I don't know if they actually have a policy against using VPNs for family sharing. Yeah.
If
I would
I
imagine.
if I tunneled in, like if I let her tunnel into my network, like I don't think it would matter. I bet it would work fine, but I'd rather just buy the game for her at that point. It's a hassle because
Yeah.
at one point I'll do something to screw up that VPN tunnel or the tunnel or whatever. I'd do something to screw it up, and then I'd have to fix it, and I'm just over that these days.
Fair enough. Ooh, and also game recording. Game recording is a pretty cool feature. I don't really use it because I have a capture card, multiple capture cards from AverMedia. Not sponsored, by the way. But
Yeah, I need to get one of the. I need to get the Steam Deck specific one. I like the game recording stuff. I don't use it, but I like it. I like the idea that if I was playing an intense part, that I could go back and save that, kind of like you can on the consoles. What this does is it just makes it that much more a console competitor, and I think that's a good thing. Even if not everyone uses it, there's a lot of people that do like using that type of stuff, and there's typically the ones I know are console users. So this is a great step to be competitive with consoles.
I think so too. It's honestly one of the best features Valve has implemented. And I'm also surprised that it doesn't use that much, use that many resources too.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just not playing the right types of games.
I really haven't noticed a great difference in performance decreasing.
Yeah.
Personally.
Well, it's because the APU has built-in like encoding hardware, so it's just about redirecting the recorded footage to your drive, and that doesn't take much.
That is true. Speaking of which, there's also specific game. There are also game specific features that you can implement via Steamworks for game recording. So like in theory, like let's say Gardner, I don't think you have any features implemented yet, but you could make it so that when you score a goal in Doodlings, you could make the slow-mo and instant replay and then save that as like the game record, like using game recording to do that.
Yeah, there's simpler ways you can integrate it too. Like if you get if let's say Doodlings integrates with the thing where it just says, "Hey, a goal just happened," it can then mark your timeline with like a goal icon, and you could color it red or blue based on which team scored.
Yeah.
And that way, when you go back, you can just find those events really quick.
Yeah, and it also marks events, generic events like achievements too. When you get an achievement in a recording, yeah, that's another one too. The Valve put in a lot more effort than what I would have imagined. Like honestly, I think most people would have been fine with just being able to record and clip and stuff, right? But they went above and beyond with the whole timeline stuff and game integration too. I should mention.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I was asking Valve in my videos to do that exact feature since the day I got the Steam Deck in my hands. and
Like a
we'll
recording
finally get it.
feature or like the timeline?
Yeah, having a timeline, having like like a cache, like a rolling cache of video storage for what you've played for the last
There's
2 hours or whatever.
there's still one feature I want Valve to implement. And from what I
Okay.
understand, it should be possible with the hardware in it. So you know how the 3DS, you know how the DS, 3DS, PSP, and Vita, you could play ad hoc multiplayer? That's what they call it.
Yes. Yep.
That. That's what I want.
Yes. I want that too.
People
I want.
are saying I posted it on the Steam like requests, and people are saying, "Oh, it's already possible." Like, no, not in the way that I suggested it.
Right. I've been asking for that too. I've wanted that for a long, long time because, like, if there was a basic API that would allow the game to create an ad hoc network and to search for local, like, nearby games, that would be amazing. And it's definitely possible, right? It's not like special hardware you need to do
Yeah.
that.
And Nintendo does it too. So like, why not, right?
Yeah, Nintendo of all companies. Yeah, I would love to see that. I'd also love to see like a Street Pass type feature, but that would require special hardware, I think.
Yeah, I think that does require it because I mean,
Yeah.
the 3DS was ARM based too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So I mean, that's probably the number one feature. I know not a lot of games will be designed for that, but I am like 1,000% certain if a feature like that existed, developers would program for it. They would make it happen. Maybe not AAA developers, but certainly some indie games would do it. And Monster Hunter. Yeah, Monster Hunter is always a good. Wait, is the new Monster Hunter always online? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
I
Monster
don't
Hunter is
know
always a
either.
good like option for the like that type of connectivity because I mean it was on the PSP and the 3DS and stuff like that. So yeah, basically. All right, so tools for game developers. They also updated Steam demos so that they can have their own pages now, and they would link back to the main game itself. The content survey, catalog management, VR in Steam Deck, platform growth and data. In 2024, more than 500 new titles exceeded $250,000 in new release revenue. And I want to bet Balatro is probably at the top of that new titles list, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And more than 200 titles exceeded 1 million in new sales release. And those are up from 2023. So it was a remarkable year for new releases, according to Valve. Yada yada yada. This seems like a very shareholder thing to mention, even though Valve is a private company. So I guess that's pretty good. Yes.
Yeah.
They see one of the most successful launches from a first-time Steam dev was TCG Card Shop Simulator, released by Malaysian studio OP Neon. Wait, what is this? I've never heard of this before. TCG Shop Simulator. It looks like what it sounds like, to be honest. I'm surprised they didn't mention Balatro. Maybe Balatro didn't sell as well as I thought it did, despite being like a mega hit everywhere.
I think it sold well. I think how much money it probably generated wasn't as much as maybe some other games, but
I mean that's fair. Plus Balatro's on everything now.
I'd be shocked if they didn't make just tens of millions of dollars. But yeah, it's such.
I bet you they probably made more money on mobile. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there's a good chance. I mean, I play it on my iPad, but I have it through my Apple subscription, so
that's true. So yeah, there wasn't too much to talk about outside of Valve's new features and some metrics. Mm-hmm. But and as we recall, Valve hit a new all-time high. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. What do you guys have to say?
I mean,
or the SteamOS update, or the year. I mean, sorry, not the SteamOS update. The year-end review.
Yeah,
I think. Go ahead, James.
Go for it. No, I don't have much. I think I've already.
The thing that I thought was interesting in this like update was the last paragraph before platform growth and data. It says, the future of hardware at Valve is bright. Steam Deck, SteamOS, and Steam VR are delivering tons of value to players and devs, built on top of decades of investment into UI, Linux compatibility, input support, custom silicon, motion tracking, displays, battery efficiency, and more. Every developer making PC games benefits from these investments, and players can now enjoy their PC games in so many new contexts. Hardware teams at Valve are delighted to see Steam in the living room, the airport, the backyard, and wherever else customers want to bring their library of PC games. And that just kind of stuck out to me because Emily has been watching The Pit on HBO Max, and she called me out. She's like, "Gardner, come look!" And then one of the patients in the show was playing on Steam Deck, and then I saw a YouTube video from I can't remember her name, but there was a woman who went down to like Disney, and they were showing her like some of the robots that they have running around the park, and they were using Steam Decks to control the robots. And I've just been seeing Steam Deck everywhere recently. Like even like people I don't like online are using Steam Decks, and I was like, dang, that's pretty neat.
Like who?
I'm not going to mention any names, but a streamer that I find just contemptible was playing on Steam Deck, and I was like, hey, that's nice, I guess.
Dude, The Pit. I've heard that show is pretty good. It's like a medical show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty graphic. I went out there I was just walking through the living room, and I saw what she was watching. I was like, oh my God, dude. I'm very queasy. I pass out like just at the sight of a needle. So yikes.
Dude. Man, yeah, I've seen some shit, man. I used to be a medical device technician.
Oh, really?
Especially during COVID times too. And you can imagine how scary that was. But hey, yeah. I got some of the benefits that doctors did, like free Starbucks every day.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I got sick of it real fast, but it was pretty cool the first couple of times.
Yeah.
Let's see what. Yeah. So
SteamOS 3.7.
Yep.
This is like a new preview of SteamOS, and there's some pretty interesting stuff in here. They've updated to a new Arch build, which is nice to see. I kind of wish that they would do this a little more frequently, but whatever. There's a new Linux kernel, version 6.11, new Mesa graphics driver base. The desktop is now shipping Plasma 6.2.5. And let's see, there's new controller support. There's new Bluetooth fixes. So Bluetooth devices still being able to wake up the Steam Deck from suspend, which they fixed that, which I've had like my Steam Deck here on my desk, and I have the Logitech mouse, and if I like just switch over to one thing, it turns on my Steam Deck, and it was actually driving me crazy. But they now fixed that. Anyway, there's a whole bunch. Anything in this stick out to any of you guys?
The beginnings of support for non-Steam Deck handhelds.
Yes.
It's interesting that it's the beginnings of support. So I'm curious if this 3.7 is going to be the official one that comes with non-Steam Deck support, and they're just saying for this preview that it's just the beginning of it. I'm kind of curious
maybe. Another thing that really sticks out to me is Bluetooth controllers can now wake LCD units from sleep, previously only available on OLED models. So if you recall, one of the cool things about the OLED is that you can get like an Xbox, like a controller that's connected via Bluetooth, and then just turn that on, and it turns on the Steam Deck.
Whoa!
But now you can do that with the LCD models.
I thought that was like a hardware thing.
I thought so too, but I guess not. Yeah. I guess Valve just MacGyvered it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, sometimes you can MacGyver hardware issues with software.
That is one of the nice things about having a device like the Steam Deck is Valve has like very deep like control over the device drivers for these things and the firmware of the hardware in it, and so that's pretty neat. That's really
so. Yeah, if you have two Steam Decks, You could just make the LCD one your dedicated docked one.
Yeah.
Because I still have an LCD unit. I don't really use it anymore because I have the OLED, but now I might have a use for it.
Yeah.
See what else? Known
What
issue. Bluetooth LE based controllers. I believe that's what,
low
limited
energy.
edition?
Low
Low
energy.
energy. Fuck, man. I'm still thinking of cars.
Limited edition
Yeah,
Bluetooth.
yeah. When cars are
Now
limited
better.
edition, they're not like special cars. They're like limited in like capabilities. That's what they usually mean by LE.
Mm.
Yeah.
See, Bluetooth LE based controllers are not currently compatible with Bluetooth Wake on LCD models. So they're still perfecting it. I don't know what controllers are Bluetooth LE based, but yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Hmm.
Um, let me see if there's anything else of interest.
What is they enabled AMD P state CPU frequency control. What does that mean? P state? Is that performance state?
That's a good question. Let's ask Google.
See if they give a good
Uh,
answer.
I think it has to do with like recording, like CPU
I thought
governance, but I'm not
I
sure.
thought it was power state. Let's see.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Um, update to Plasma 6.2.5. Previously, it was 5.2, 27.10. That's a lot of versions to jump through. What's changed there with Plasma?
It revolves around performance and energy efficiency frequency management. So
Mm.
yeah, it's a kernel module. It's for okay. Yeah, so it'd probably take a lot to get into it, but it is specific to Linux, I believe.
Okay, so so I don't think there's much else that the user will need to know.
Hmm.
No major feature updates. Mesa graphics updates are always good because it may result in some performance increases. Not always, but sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool. It's cool that Valve is still updating it. I know they're starting to slow down on the like major updates, but yeah, there's only so much you can do with hardware. Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't
I think
require a new Steam Deck.
I think they took on a lot of the easier stuff and also stuff that people maybe wanted that was a little easier. And they're, I think it's slowing down a little bit because they're working on the major thing, which is making SteamOS more compatible with other devices, which is probably a big task. And you could probably see it slow down for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, it might be. I mean, I hope Valve gets to telling us something about the Steam Deck too. If not
Mm.
now, then like I don't know, a couple months down the line.
I think end of the year we'll learn at least about one of the projects they're working on because we know that they're working on like 3 or 4. So I would be shocked if they didn't.
So I will say
Do
Bluetooth
that.
controllers that can wake up LCD models. That's a big plus. That's probably the biggest new feature, but that's
Yeah.
coming to like the older Steam Decks.
Yeah.
But I mean, aside from
Yeah.
that though, yeah, I don't have much else to say about this.
No. I mean, with that, we can move on to the Saudi Arabia thing.
All right,
This is absolutely wild. Saudi Arabia bought Pokemon Go along with Pikmin Go or whatever it's called, and like Monster Hunter, like mobile and all this stuff. They bought a bunch, everything that Niantic was doing with Nintendo. Saudi Arabia bought. This includes 100 million players' real-time location data. At least going forward. We don't know if this also includes historical location data, but I would imagine it would. And this is just absolutely wild. I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
do we know which Saudi Arabian prince owns this company?
No.
So this is Saudi Arabia is a very interesting, and I'm not going to get too much into the political side on this because you get really deep into all this. But I don't understand companies not having at least some loyalty to their country, because once you sell it to Saudi Arabia, it becomes like a huge betrayal, I feel like, to your players. If you sell it to
Mhm.
another country, almost in some ways, it becomes a betrayal to your players. Like when I'm playing Pokemon Go and with all my telemetry and all that other data, I don't know. I almost feel like there needs to be laws against doing some of this stuff, because I don't trust my data in Saudi Arabia. I don't think they're going to do anything themselves nefarious, but they could end up selling that to who
Does
knows
the
what else.
Saudi
I don't
crown
know. I
have
don't
any
like it.
stake in Nintendo?
The Saudi crown is Nintendo's largest outside investor.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, snap.
yeah.
Saudi Arabia is a huge investor into technology, and people don't understand this sometimes. They are very much
Yeah,
behind the
I
scenes
mean,
on a lot of stuff.
I know Saudi Arabia owns a lot of companies that I mean, they might be like they might be the new Tencent. People are worried about Tencent owning things now, but Saudi Arabia owns a lot.
I would rather have Tencent, honestly. At least I
Mhm.
know about Tencent more than Saudi Arabia. My problem with Saudi Arabia is that, and I guess I'll get into a little bit of politics, but they have indentured servitude, and they have a lot of other issues on the social side of things that it's just
Yeah, plus there was that huge
really troubling.
controversy with the assassination of the journalist of
I don't know if
Khashoggi.
that's a controversy. I think that's just
That's just something that happened, I guess.
Just
Not
straight up murder.
it's straight up murder. Yeah.
assassination.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I mean, it also depends. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what there are some. So I should mention that. Fun fact: there's a Saudi prince on Steam, and his have you seen his profile on Steam? It's crazy.
No.
Saudi prince Steam profile.
Yeah.
It's it's not what you would have expected out of a Saudi prince, to be honest. But shit, let me see if I can find a link to it.
Does he have a really high kill death ratio? That'd be awesome.
Well, he plays Dota too, so I don't know.
Or is this like an Elon Musk kind of thing where he doesn't really play that much, but he has someone else?
No,
How'd you like to be that indentured servant that has to play games for your math, like for the person you're serving?
no, it's a. Hold on, I got a
Oh my
screenshot of it right
God.
here. Let me send it to you guys on Discord. We're gonna put this on this. We should put this on in the video. By the way,
Yeah.
this
We
is
might
what
need to
this
take
is his
this out so I can
profile.
travel to Saudi Arabia. at one
Sweetheart
point.
Yuki Yukio, Prince Abdullah bin Salman bin Abdulaziz.
He
Al
is a
Saud.
Oh wow, he's an otaku.
he's a weeb. He's a
Yeah,
weeaboo.
you could tell he's the
Weeaboo.
number one investor in Nintendo here. Just yikes.
He's got a picture of. It looks like. I'm trying to remember the sister's name from Demon Slayer. Oh, Nezuko. It kind of looks like Nezuko,
Yeah,
but
That's
I don't think it
interesting.
is. The eye color is different.
level 274. Damn.
I don't think I know anyone that's that high on Steam, like that I'm actually friends with.
He has almost as many games in his Steam library as the Fox.
Almost. Wow.
Doesn't the Fox have like 5,000 games or something?
No, he has 10,000 games.
10,000 games. Dude, this Prince, come on, dude.
Dude.
The Fox has you out Fox, dude.
Well, dude, no one can compare to the Fox. That guy Fox.
That guy, he does. That's
Does
hilarious.
he play them though? That's my only
Yeah.
problem having 10,000 games. Is there
The
you
Fox?
just collect them?
Well, from what I understand, the Fox used to collect a bunch of games when I asked him about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
They had a bug once you went past like 4 or 5, because I know someone else also, like, you couldn't view their profile properly. It would break.
Yeah, the bug still exists. I still
Oh,
can't
does it?
properly look at the Fox's game list.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It's an outlier. They probably only have like 100 people that have that type of bug.
Yeah, but what's weird is that the Fox isn't even like that high of a level on Steam. Look.
I don't know
The
if owning
Fox-
matters. I think it's playing the games that you have matters
Yeah.
with the level.
Yeah, the
the
Fox is only
badges
level
you get.
99,
Yeah.
whereas Mr. Prince Yukio Yukio. What kind of a name is that? Couldn't come up with a better like anime name?
Oh my god.
Sweetheart Yukio. Yeah,
Wow.
that's I'm not here to shame.
Sweetheart
If they're doing that,
Yuichiro.
hopefully they're not doing something more nefarious.
I'm pretty sure this isn't the Saudi prince that was behind some of the assassinations. I'm pretty sure that was like the crown prince, like one of the older ones.
Yeah, I hope, and hopefully it's not like you play against this guy and you waste him so much. He's like, maybe I'll get you assassinated.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh man,
dude.
So
Imagine playing against him and then you get into an argument with him and he's like, oh, and there's like, oh, let's fight IRL, and then like you give him an address, and dude, that would be so messed up.
Yeah,
You're an idiot if you start giving your address out when you're fighting with people online.
Yeah, so, yeah, a lot of people. Some people that used to happen on Xbox a lot.
I know, and they're idiots. Like you're just asking for trouble at that point.
Yeah, that's kind of your fault, to be honest.
A little bit.
So, do you think this guy has something to do with the purchase of Niantic's gaming division?
The company name was mentioned in the Reddit post.
The Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. They paid $3.5 billion for the gaming division of Niantic.
Does Niantic also do non-gaming division?
They have like other location-based stuff. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. But like they also got Pokemon Go, they got Monster Hunter Now, and Pikmin Bloom.
So Scopely, so according to the article, it was being sold to Scopely. And according to Wikipedia, they're a quote-unquote American game developer and publisher. They're a subsidiary of Saudi Arabian company Savvy Games Group. The company was founded by the country's sovereign wealth fund, public investment fund.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, key people. Saleh Al-Fadhil. Let me see who he is. He is the chief financial officer. Doesn't sound like a Saudi prince, though. Doesn't look like he's a Saudi prince, though.
I just think that this is basically more sports washing, but with games instead of sports.
Sports washing?
Yeah. Have you heard that term?
I'm afraid not, no.
So basically, like, Saudi Arabia's come under fire for, like, basically spending a bunch of money to like buy, was it the PGA Tour or something? They bought something with golf.
I think it's the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and then they ended up banning anyone from participating in the tournament if they were critical of the Saudi government. And they've done that with FIFA, and they've done it with a couple other sports organizations in order to like change the public perception around the Saudi the crown. So it's they call it sports washing. It's like whitewashing, but using sports to do it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I remember they bought a golfing turn. Like they did. Was it back in the day?
It's not good, and we really got to push back against these types of governments owning the this type of stuff. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's hyper normalization is what it is, and it's terrifying. Like honestly, I find it disgusting. I don't know. I don't have much else to say about that. Do you guys?
No.
I'm just glad it wasn't Valve or something I really care about. I'm kind of over Pokemon Go, but still, it's just a shame.
Well, I mean, Valve's not selling, so there's no. So if Gabe,
I know, but I don't know what it's going to be like when Gabe retires or is gone. So all I'm saying is
pray to Gabe and hope that whoever he selects isn't an idiot.
Well, what they need to do is make Valve like owned by the people who work there. Like it needs to be a workers cooperative. That's what I think.
That's socialism. I can't believe you'd say that.
It's definitely not socialism.
You're such a Disco Elysium type.
No, I mean, isn't that technically what socialism is? But I'm all for that. A cooperative, like.
Well, socialism is like a public thing. Like they would still be a private company, but the people who work there would own and have say in.
I know, but there's so many different definitions of of socialism. But like, I agree. Like
Well,
especially with Valve. They're so smart. You should have them be doing, and they're kind of already doing that in a lot of ways.
and the decision-making process is already distributed amongst most, like, the people that work there. It doesn't, and capitalism, socialism, whatever. I believe we're living in a post-capitalist world right now. Like, the capitalism we have is like a complete perversion of what it should be.
Agreed.
And so, capitalism be damned today. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's move on.
Nah, I want to get you more angry about it.
Dude, you get me fucking furious in a minute if I keep talking about it.
We'll both be yelling.
My face will turn red. Oh my god.
Yep.
The Triple I initiative returns. I don't know what this is, High Tech. You're gonna have to fill me in.
So the Triple I initiative was a showcase. Think of it like E3, but entirely indie games. So
it's good E3.
So yeah, a good E3. No ads either.
Yeah.
That's already better than Jock Keely's stupid summer thingy. But they showcased a lot of games last year. They showcased Slay the Spire 2. They also showcased The Rogue Prince of Persia. I know that's published by Ubisoft, but it's being developed by the guys that made Dead Cells. Risk of Rain 2 update, Power World. They also announced like games like Kill Knight, Death Must Die, Cataclysmo, a bunch of games, a bunch of RTSs too. RTS and Wizard. Okay, so here's my thing with indie games nowadays. So like, you know how like the PlayStation 1 era had that era where every game franchise must try 3D? It seems like every sequel to a successful indie game is doing that too. Like Moonlighter 2. You guys played Moonlighter? Or heard of it?
No.
So it's like a shop. It's like half shop simulator, half dungeon crawler, but it was 2D and top down, kind of like Zelda. Now that's going 3D. That's going 3D. You guys play Wizard of Legend?
No.
So that's like a top down roguelike. It was 2D action rogue, but it's going 3D now with Wizard of Legend 2. Oh, let's talk about Risk of Rain 1 and 2. You guys know of Risk of Rain 1?
Yeah.
And you guys know how Risk of Rain 2 is 3D? Yeah, that happened too. Okay, I shouldn't be ranting though, because it's not like 3D is inherently bad. But I just noticed a weird trend with indies going 3D.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's bad. Like, if they can... I think 3D requires more of an investment. That's really what it is. Like, there's just more complexity with 3D, and the art assets tend to be more complex. So when a game is successful as an indie game, then they have the money to invest to make a 3D version of it. I don't think that's bad necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I just prefer the art style for like Wizard of Legends 1 more compared to Wizard of Legend 2. That's just me though.
Yeah. It's really hard. I'm for iterative processes, like going from 2D to 3D. I'm typically more of a 3D person myself. I lived the 2D life a long time ago, and I still enjoy games, but it is kind of a shame if you really like a franchise and they change fundamentally. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. So we don't know when this new showcase is. I believe. Let me see when it happened last year.
I think it's cool to have this type of
it happened on
showcase
April
and all that.
So we should be expecting to see it next month. If it happens on a Saturday, would you guys be interested in live streaming it?
Yeah.
No, I'm always down.
All right. But we'll update you on this if it ends up being on a Saturday or like another day. I don't know. Maybe we will live stream it on another day, assuming we're not like at work or something. If it's on a work date, then we're not going to stream it. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. Now,
I'll take the time off just for the. Well, actually, I'll reserve that for something. I'm interested in this, but there might be something more interesting coming this year. Who knows?
So yeah, speaking of interesting,
Half-Life
I
3.
feel like this is something Gardner's interested in this next
Oh my gosh, yes. So I have been a big champion of Bazzite. I think it's a really great Linux distro, and it's really great for gaming as well. And it's based on Fedora, which is one of my favorite distros in general. And now they just announced this week that they are working on 2 new spins of Bazzite, and they're aimed at developers. They have Bazzite DX, which is the developer experience, and it has general developer tooling and other things to help you like debug your game, to test your games, and such like that. But they also have Bazzite GDX, and Bazzite GDX is the game developer experience, and it ships with Godot. I believe it's 4.4. It's shipping with a bunch of other tools, pretty much the same tools that are coming with DX. And they also are looking for people to help them develop further, create new tools that will help game developers bring their games to Linux. And it's very exciting. I've seen a couple folks, even the guys from like Retro Deck in my Revolt server. He said that he's going to be switching over to GDX when it's available.
What's he using now?
That's a great question. He said it, and I don't remember. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but yeah, he's using something else. I think he said Chimera. It was, or Catchy. I don't know, one of those two.
Interesting.
I don't even know if I have it open.
I'm really interested in this because I would like to go more to Linux. I'm still dependent on Unreal, but I'm really interested in this, in the GDX one specifically.
Doesn't Unreal have a Linux version of the engine?
They do, but it's just like the Mac version. It's not great, and I have an NVIDIA graphics card, so, you know, on top of that, I don't know what other issues I'd run into. Maybe if I and you have to build it yourself. On Mac, they actually have a pre-built version now, but on Linux, excuse me, they have you have to build it, and I'm fine with that. But building it, at least a couple years ago, I tried it, and it was a pain in the ass. Or at least with my NVIDIA card. So if I switch over to the N70 XT, and if I can get Unreal to run really well, I might actually just switch to this full time. So we'll see. I'm not committing to anything now, but if I can, I will try to, because I don't play enough online games, and the online games I do play are Linux compatible. So,
Lazorn from RetroDeck says he is using Bazzite currently, but he's going to be switching over to Bazzite GDX when it's available.
I mean, that makes sense.
When are they? So it's an alpha right now. When are they going to make it fully available?
They don't know, but when when it becomes stable, that's when they'll release it.
Sick.
Right now, it's just for testing.
Okay, so maybe I'll go to Bazzite with my main PC today or tomorrow, and then I'll see how it goes from there.
I mean, if it's a different image, you should be able to just re-image your Bazzite install to Bazzite GDX when it goes stable.
Well, the nice thing about having all my stuff on my Mac computers, like all my day-to-day stuff, where, you know, business develop, like my other type of development, is that I can then refresh my other computer much more often. So I'm fine reformatting it, because all my business stuff is on my other computer. That's why I like doing this dual boot. I have a KVM, and so I switch between the two. So I'm much more experimental now with my Windows and Linux stuff, and have a lot more fun. And I can always expect to edit videos or to do anything else on my Mac. In fact, I'd prefer to do game development on my Mac too, but for now I might do both. We'll see.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's cool. I'm really excited about this, and it seems like a lot of people are too. Like there was a bunch of comments on this when I talked about it in my last video, and people are saying it seems really neat. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out, because, like I said, I love Fedora, and like Fedora is what I'm running on all of my laptops now, and it's sick. So,
speaking of which, James, you said you had an M1 Mac, right? M1 MacBook.
I have an M2, but I'm going to be looking into getting an M4, or maybe waiting for the M5.
Have you tried Asahi Linux on your Mac?
No, What is it?
It's a M1, M2, M3 specific Linux distro. I don't believe they have M4 support just yet. But
I honestly, I like Mac OS enough. I don't think I'd switch for this type of thing. I don't think I'd switch over to Linux anytime soon unless like Apple really does something to piss me off. I really like the synergy. Like I can right now I have my AirPods in listening to you guys, but if I get off, I'll go to my iPad to watch something, which is often what I do. It works like that. So
that is pretty cool.
My flow is really nice, but I like to tinker. I like to do games and all that, and Mac is just not there for games. Plus, on top of, I like supporting Linux. I like doing the open source stuff. I just got to the stage in my life where I'm getting tired of Windows and it just disrupting my flow. So, and I want to support Linux more and more. And plus, Gardner's, talking me into it more and more. He doesn't talk me into it, but like him talking about all the cool stuff again is like, okay, I need to get back into this world. So, and plus, Bazzite is awesome on my Ally. Like, I still have always tinkered with it and messed with it, and even developed a software on SteamOS. But
yeah, but like Gardner's like a Linux YouTuber. He has a vested interest in people using Linux, don't you know, man? It's all like a conspiracy, dude.
It is.
Dude, I am a shill for Linux if you ask my comment section.
A shill? How can you be a shill for Linux?
Dude, I know.
He's being paid by Big Linux.
Yeah. IBM and
that is a thing, but
dude.
Yeah, man,
oh my God.
Red Hat. You're being paid off by Red Hat, bro.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Microsoft's paying me to love Linux, because Microsoft loves Linux,
And they should.
They kind of do. When it comes to server.
I have like the description of my YouTube channel says follow me for bad takes and biased opinions, because that's all people say in my comments section recently. It's like, that's a bad take.
Funny.
That's a biased opinion. It's like, how the fuck can an opinion be not biased?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the stupidest thing.
What bad opinion were they roasting you for this time, Gardner?
Dude, every one of them, dude. I made a video about Mozilla like 2 weeks ago, and people are still like leaving comments about how I'm a shill for Mozilla. It's like, I literally know one guy who I met before he worked for Mozilla, and that's it. Like, actually two guys, but but still, it's like, I don't fucking, dude, these people are, I don't know. We're not even gonna get into it.
Doesn't Glorious Eggroll work at Mozilla now, or like Thunderbird or some shit? I know he worked at Red Hat, but
I thought he worked at Red Hat. I didn't know if he changed.
I must be thinking of some other Linux guy.
Well, Jason Evangelo.
Yes, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know if he still works there, but Jason Evangelo, I met him at System 76 a couple of years ago, and he's just the coolest dude. And also Ryan Sipes, you might know him from, he was like the public marketing guy for Mycroft, the AI, like the open source like assistant dude, like Google Home or Amazon Alexa. I don't know if you remember that, but he made a splash there, and then he worked for System 76, and I met him there, and he's really cool. And now he works for Mozilla. So the Jason Evangelo and him are the two that I know, and it's like neither of them are like shills for, and they work for Thunderbird too. It's not even like they're working for Firefox.
Yes. So
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway, bad
takes are bad takes. I have some really bad takes too. I think QTE. I think QTEs in games are good. Quick time events.
Yeah,
bring them back. I don't care if they instantly kill you. Bring them back. I want them.
Like 7 years ago, I once said that I thought it would make sense for Valve to have like a timed exclusive on Linux, right? 7 years ago, and people still use that against me. I'm like, guys, like this was 7 years ago. Like, I don't think that anymore. Can we chill the fuck out?
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Don't you know, man? People never change.
It's not a bad idea. Like,
how did Valve get its foot in the door with Steam? They made Steam. You had to install Steam in order to play Half-Life 2. Like, that was my whole thought process. I don't necessarily agree with that anymore, but I think that like it would make sense for Valve to do something like that. They wouldn't do it, and I'm not advocating for them to do it, but like people still use that against me, and it's like they need to chill out, guys. Everybody needs to chill.
I don't know why. I don't know. I have a hard time because I Linux is free.
Yeah.
They made it like it's not like you have to buy anything else. Yes, you'd have to reformat your computer, but heaven forbid, whatever.
You have to buy a computer.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to buy a computer.
I guess
to
so,
use
but then
Linux.
if you're a console, okay, but then if you're a console user and you complain about an exclusive somewhere else, then you're already a hypocrite. So, like,
Dude,
talk
that's so
about
fun.
bad takes.
Well, not if you're one of the 8 Xbox Series owners.
Yeah, well, they don't have exclusives at all. Don't you know that?
That might be a bad take.
No, dude. The Xbox is putting all their games on every platform, dude, you know?
I love it. I really like. I'm here for that.
Yeah, Sony's putting all their exclusives on PC too, man. So it's pretty clear. If you want the best of both worlds, just buy a PC and a Nintendo Switch. If you want to play Nintendo,
we didn't talk about that, but in the from my understanding, when I looked into the Xbox handheld and also the 2027 or the 2027 Xboxes are going to be multi-platform based, meaning you'll be able to potentially have Epic and Steam on them. So
Steam on an Xbox,
that's what it sounds like for 2027.
That is sacrilege. Sony.
The quote from one of the from Jason Ronald, the VP of Next Generation at Microsoft at Xbox, said, I have the quote right here because I have my script from yesterday. It says, I would say our plan is to bring the best of Xbox and Windows together because we have spent the last 20 years building a world-class operating system, but it's really locked to the console. He's talking about Xbox OS. And so what we're doing is we're really focused on how we can bring those experiences for both players and developers to the broader Windows ecosystem. So as if Windows 11 wasn't bloated enough, they're going to cram the Xbox OS in there somehow too. And so like that's what this is. I think that's what they're planning. It's going to be a hybrid Windows Xbox OS where you can also install Steam and access the desktop.
So
it's going to be ridiculous.
The Xbox OS is already Windows based from my understanding. And so it really is just a UI layer. So if they do a game mode with the UI layer, I'm down for that. But they're going to have to do some fat trimming some fat, I think.
If the new Xbox is unlocked, say, for example, you can just install your own OS. You want to just install Bazzite instead?
Well, if they're bringing over the Xbox shell to Windows, who's to say they're also not going to give the OS away for free to OEMs in exchange for completely locking the device to Windows? I fully, that's something Microsoft would do, and I fully expect them to do
it is interesting. I think it's interesting. I want to see more before I get more like
just in time for Valve's general SteamOS release too, no less.
Yeah.
But here's my thing: whatever they do with the 2027, if they call it an Xbox Ally or something like that, let's say this this year, it will be able to play. And it is the first time that from my understanding, that Sony exclusives will be on Xbox. Because you could play, because Sony exclusives are going to Steam, you'd be able to play Last of Us on the Xbox, or not and so you'd be able to play certain things on the Xbox. Big quotes on that.
Dude, I hope that Sony sues the shit out of Microsoft over that.
Yeah,
just because there could be like genuine like brand issues that Sony would take with that.
I think it'd be hilarious. I hope
it would be hilarious. Yeah,
I'm down for the hilarity between these two brands getting what they deserve.
Yeah,
we're
talking about the Xbox in 2027. I don't even think Xbox has that kind of momentum to make it to 2027. Like honestly, I am a huge Xbox fan. I love the original Xbox. I have a modded 360. I love those consoles. I've never once touched or played an Xbox One. And I don't know anyone in my life who owns I know one person who has an Xbox Series console. One person. And like everyone in my circle of friends were all Xbox gamers just 2 generations ago. And it's like I just don't see, anecdotally, I just don't see Microsoft being able to keep it going, you know?
They've
You just don't
definitely-
understand Microsoft's like vision, man.
Yeah,
they're,
I mean,
they're playing
I have my
5D chess
Xbox
and
right
they're
here.
still playing like
Oh.
3D chess, dude.
Yeah.
I also have another Xbox right here.
Yeah.
Dude,
There's
I'm
hundreds of millions of Xboxes now.
Dude, we're
I don't
all
know what you're
streaming on
talking about.
Xboxes, dude. You just don't understand, Gardner.
Yeah.
Speaking
Sorry,
of
I'm getting
Xboxes,
really ooh,
the Steam Deck.
the Steam Deck. Yeah, let's talk about the Steam Xbox.
The controversial game of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh yeah, that's coming
So
up.
speaking of which, before we get started, I'm gonna go off a little tangent here. During the Next Fest, I saw a game in the Steam Next Fest called Yasuke Simulator. And
Really?
it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
So the Yasuke was a samurai. He was a historical figure in Japan, retainer to Oda Nobunaga, and he was an outlier in Japan because he was of African descent. He was black.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were telling me about this last year.
Yeah,
Or
so-
episode.
Last time, yeah.
Someone made a
And
game. Someone made a game on Steam. It's not out yet. It's called Yasuke Simulator, and it looks like the worst asset flip 'em up in my life.
They're just riding the coattails of the
the Assassin's Creed controversy. Yes, that's basically what it is. It looks kind of funny, but like, I'm pretty sure they made it because you know how it is.
What side of it is it going to be like a mocking game, or is it going to be like trying to actually?
No, it's like a mocking game
Support.
because like there are like assault
no.
rifles in it as well, and like a car.
Oh, no.
Definitely
that
non-sense.
potentially is going to be running the risk of being
inventions.
very racist. Then I think.
It sounds like it's going to be very racist. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh,
But anyways.
Would Steam even allow something so depending on how bad it gets?
Well, they don't.
today's world.
Well, I mean, like, I don't think it's like blatantly racist. The game itself, I think maybe it was made from a not great place. Maybe I don't know.
I'm just saying, like I've read a lot of pretty racist things when it comes to this controversy of having a black character in Assassin's Creed Shadows, and so that's why I say that. And in today's political climate, it's much more acceptable to be that. So I'm interesting.
It's this weird spot where Yasuke himself doesn't have a lot of like history behind him besides what he did after. I don't know. It's crazy.
He doesn't have a lot of history after Nobunaga.
Yeah, well, after Nobunaga. No, like they don't know what happened to him afterwards.
They don't, and that's why Assassin's Creed Shadows plays with it and is not a historical simulator. And we don't need to get into the controversy of this.
Yeah,
but like
the Assassin's Creed plot has gone completely like it taking historical events. It went completely off the rails with the second game because I don't know if you guys remember Assassin's Creed 2, the one with Ezio in it. But
Yeah.
like if you go through all of the hidden logs, it like shows that almost the entirety of history was like around the whole Templar versus Assassins like thing. Even like, oh, here's a crazy one too. They briefly talked about the World War II era, where FDR, Henry Ford, and Hitler were all on the Templar side, and they were all on the Templar side, like working together. In World War II was just this one big conspiracy to get some more artifacts of Eden or something like that, and Hitler was killed by an assassin.
but that doesn't make sense. Assassin's Creed's a history simulator, according to everything I read. That's controversial about this. Sorry,
dude. Clearly, you just don't know history, dude.
Clearly,
you just
I only get talked about history to me every day because my wife's a historian. She went to school for history. I get to learn about history every day.
And obviously, Leonardo da Vinci didn't invent like a slick hidden weapon that goes on your wrist. As cool as that'd be. He invented a bunch of other crazy stuff, like a helicopter that doesn't look very aerodynamic. But I mean, Futurama suggests that maybe that was a spaceship instead.
Oh my gosh, Futurama. true history.
I don't know. All right, we've gone completely off the
I
rails.
love it. Yeah, we're really off the rails, but it's still like I hate it. I hate that you can't make a game anymore that's semi-history based.
Historical fiction. I think that's the name
Historical fiction. There you go. That's a much better way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
speaking of
there's
fiction,
good
do you
news,
think
right?
Assassin's Creed Shadow is going to run well on Steam Deck?
No.
No.
But
No.
at least it'll be optimized.
I find it hard to believe, but they're going all in this whole it's going to run well on Steam Deck thing. Like the thumbnail of the video shows it inside of a Steam Deck, as if like
maybe if they don't force you to run Origin in the background or whatever the Ubisoft version.
Yeah, they did mention that if you install it, if you get it through Steam, they don't force you to use the Ubisoft thingy.
That'll save you a gigabyte or two of RAM.
Okay, so here's the thing though. If they truly are doing it like this, like it could either backfire and really hurt, I think, Steam Deck verified games, or it could be a big boon to other companies. If it runs well, I will personally buy Assassin's Creed Shadows within the first week or two.
Dude,
I might even do it anyways just to
dude.
see.
Don't make that bet,
What?
dude. Well, actually,
What do you mean? If it runs well, I'm gonna buy it. Like, this is a game that would be really fun on the Steam Deck, and if it can run consistently 90% of the time at 30 frames at least, I'm down for that.
Oh shit! All right, so hey, you
Like,
know,
I'm not usually an Assassin's Creed person, but any game company, especially AAA, that is going to, and I know that Gardner, you don't do Ubisoft, right?
Oh, I don't do Ubisoft at all.
Yeah. Me personally, like I will vote with my wallet here if we start getting more Steam Deck optimized stuff, because I really want this trend to happen.
honestly, that's not bad. That's not a bad thought. Hey, I might be with you on this too. Be honest.
I don't disagree with you, James. Ubisoft, God knows they need your help. Like Ubisoft is.
I gotta buy their last game they're making. So
it's the last game they're ever gonna make,
dude. It's their Final Fantasy. That's crazy.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, this could be their swan song, honestly. But like, I mean, if it works well on the Steam Deck, you know, you have to. I don't know. I'm not going to tell people to buy it because I really don't like Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And they deserve every bad thing that could happen to them. But like,
and I respect that too.
Yeah. But at the same time, the first Assassin's Creed game was a lot of fun. That was 20 years ago almost now.
Yeah,
but
the second one is probably one of my favorite games.
Black Flag is the only one I've completed. It's amazing. I love that one.
The only one I've played is the original. I haven't played number 2 or any other ones.
Black Flag is really fun.
Dude, 2 is very similar to the first one, but it's like way better. Gardner, I'm surprised you haven't played it yet.
By the time Assassin's Creed 2 came out, I was already kind of on the fuck off Ubisoft kind of train. So
wait, did they do something back then too? I can't remember.
They've just been shitty the whole time, and I didn't realize it.
They've been Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Dude.
They have a couple of game franchises that I like to support the developers. But yeah, at the same time, I will be vocal against stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm more developer oriented, whether I'll not buy something or buy something, but I don't think it's wrong to boycott if you don't feel like their practices are good.
Yeah, that's fair.
I respect that.
That's fair. Totally valid. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I do agree. I think credit should be credit where credit is due. I do think if they can actually prove that it runs well on the Steam Deck, which, I mean, the trailer doesn't look like Steam Deck footage. It looks like, you know, obviously you can just edit a Steam Deck over some gameplay and make it look like Steam Deck is running it, kind of. But like, if they can prove that it runs really well on Steam Deck, then props should be given. I'm sure a lot of Steam Deck users will buy it, even if it is Ubisoft. And if the game is good, they'll buy it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They'll buy it even if it's not like people play some of the like games that do not run well on the Steam Deck, like Baldur's Gate 3 plays okay in the first part. It does not play well after the first portion of the game. And then it is one of the most played games on the Steam Deck for months since it came out, essentially. So
I'll be sitting here in my office and I will hear of Emily's Steam Deck out in the living room when she's playing Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm like, dude, I can tell, I know exactly what game you're playing. It's crazy.
Dude,
But she
soon
still
it's gonna
plays
be
it.
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't disagree with you, James. I think that this makes a lot of sense. Like, if people want to buy it, go for it. I'm not going to. But,
Yeah.
like, you... I hate the idea of, like, voting with your wallet, but, like, you got to kind of invest in the things that you want to see in the world, you know?
I mean, yeah, voting with your wallet isn't just boycotting things. It's putting
Right.
money
Yeah.
where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Yep. If you want to see a trend, and this is the trend, this is the thing I want to see the most, is see the Steam Deck as a standard in the PC gaming world, and to treat it like a console in some form or fashion, to where it's like the bare minimum it will look decent and play well on the Steam Deck. I think because then everything else will benefit. If they start optimizing for the Steam Deck, I think everything else will benefit from that, and we'll get better optimized games. But it's a good way to have these companies do it. Meaning, because if you say, oh, well, it's not optimized because it doesn't run on this one little device or something like that, you're not going to win the developers or these publishers. But if you're like, well, the Steam Deck, I have a Steam Deck. If you optimize it for that, I know that. And because these companies already optimize for consoles, I really think that they could optimize this game very well for the Steam Deck if they use some of the same tactics. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
don't know, man.
It's going to be crushed, I'm sure.
This is a big, bold claim from not Epic, sorry, Ubisoft. Remember when Ubisoft was Epic exclusive at one point? That was a bad time. That was probably the start of their like massive decline. We can blame Epic for yet another company dying.
Yeah. They're just getting them where they want them so they could buy them out.
Dude, I'm sure Microsoft would sooner buy them out than Epic.
Yeah. I would rather have Epic own a lot of the stuff than freaking Ubisoft. I still like Epic, but I get it.
I don't know if
Ubisoft,
I want Epic
I'm not
to
a big
own
fan.
these franchises, man. I don't want Epic exclusives more.
And that's
No. What they're gonna do is they're gonna relegate Ubisoft to a Fortnite support studio.
They do timed exclusives typically, depending on the game. Like Borderlands is on. I'm sure Borderlands 4 will be on Steam, right? Or at least it will be eventually.
It's been confirmed to be on Steam already.
Yeah, so I don't know. But it does run the risk. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's a really troublesome time.
Remember when Randy Pitchford said that Steam will be a dying platform or something like that?
Randy Pitchford is an idiot.
Randy Pitchford just doesn't see the vision.
Dude, do you remember when Disco Elysium was on good platforms?
It still is on good platforms.
I was gonna say it's still on good platforms.
But now it's coming to TikTok.
No, it's not coming to TikTok. It's coming to phones. And it's going to be redesigned to capture the TikTok TikTok fan base.
I see. All right, you got to give me the details on this too.
So, this is a quote from the article from Eurogamer. We intend to captivate the TikTok user with quick hits of compelling story, art, and audio, ultimately creating an all-new, deeply engaging form of entertainment. So,
cringe.
Correct me if I'm not mistaken. Didn't the entire Disco Elysium team leave Zaum? Like all of the developers,
I don't know, but
writers,
isn't
and
it
such.
a fairly anti-capitalistic game, or is it the opposite? I can't remember.
No, it's like the people have often described Disco Elysium as being written by like some hardcore Marxists.
Yeah.
Wow, we're getting political again.
Who said that though? That's I just know that it is definitely much more socialist, or it runs the gamut of like of the Marxism socialism thing. It's interesting.
So, on one hand, it's kind of a ridiculous statement to say that you're trying to attract the TikTok crowd, especially since they're so used to like 10-second loops, video shorts, which we have video shorts on our YouTube channel, by the way. At the
Mhm.
same
A lot
time,
more.
though, it's another thing too. To like, because Disco Elysium is a very like I haven't played it personally. Probably should, but
I
it's a
haven't.
very
I
like
do plan
dialogue
on.
heavy game. Like to
Yeah.
expect the TikTok crowd to like read that much dialogue is like borderline insanity.
Who knows? Maybe they'll have someone read to them, and they'll have quick little dances in it now with a little bit of
Yeah.
music.
Don't do this.
Just just imagine the dialogue pantomimed to whatever meme music track is popular on TikTok. I just can't imagine like what the fuck they're trying to like. I don't get it. I don't get this.
Like all they had
What's
to say was, "Oh, we're bringing Disco Elysium to mobile and like redoing the controls and such." Well,
yeah.
that's all they had to say.
This feels like something they would say to like their investors. We're trying to hit the TikTok generation, guys. And then all the old guys with white hair say, "Yes, great. Oh, we'll make a lot of money."
It, it's probably the worst game to do this type of thing with.
Yeah.
Also, they should be choosing a different game
Dude,
because
what game would you choose to appeal to the TikTok crowd? Because Fortnite's already on mobile.
Human fall flat.
what's
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Dude, well, I mean, like, you need something that's bright, colorful, and dumb.
yeah,
Like,
I was gonna
just-
say it has to be something that
I mean, Roblox is already on mobile too.
Roblox, yeah, dude. I can't tell you how many times I'll be taking a shit and scrolling through fucking YouTube Shorts, and then it'll just come up with like some guy jumping on platforms in Minecraft, and then a robot voice telling a story from Reddit, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, man?
Dude, have you seen those YouTube shorts where it's like one like to the top half of it is like a Family Guy clip, and the bottom half of it is like gameplay from some
Yeah.
unrelated video game.
Yep.
the worst part is that it gets views, and I hate that. That's the part where I'm
Imagine that's what Disco Elysium's gonna do.
Yep.
Dude, that's how you capture the TikTok base.
I don't know. I feel like it might end up being a flop because I don't think this is the right market.
Dude, yeah, kids don't know. Kids don't want to play games about socialism. They want to like pretend like they're morally superior to like our generation.
No,
Yeah.
they like this could work. I just don't know if TikTok's the right target.
Adjective.
Or even to say reimagine for TikTok generation is just like, this is crazy.
Dude, just if you're gonna do this, you can just name it like Disco Elysium Go and like, just have it be its own thing. It's an adaptation of Disco Elysium.
Disco Elysium sold out. That's what they should call it. Sell out. I don't know. Okay.
Ugh.
Okay.
Gross.
This topic was. I don't know what to say about this, man. It was the weirdest.
All I have to say is I'm sorry. I'm so salty and old man yelling at clouds today. I apologize.
It's
you just
okay.
don't understand
I'll
the
balance
vision,
it out.
Gardner. We just don't understand the vision, the
Yeah.
majestic vision that is Disco Elysium for TikTokers.
To be
Yeah.
fair, this topic is very much easy to yell about because it's
It's so
so bad.
funny.
Maybe they got
It's
an
so bad.
investment from Tencent and that's what they're doing. Anyway,
Oh, gosh.
Steam Spring Sale 2025. What's up? Yay capitalism.
Yeah, so the Steam sale is going on. Have you guys bought anything from the Steam sale this year?
I don't think I've bought anything from a Steam sale in like 3 months, or several iterations of a sale. Honestly,
Dude, let me tell you right now, no Steam Cat Girl. What even is the point? No more Steam sale cat. Remember that people loved that from like all the sales last year.
Yeah, no, I like it. I would like them to do like different things, but like I think they should bring the Steam Cat Girl back every year, but I don't know for every sell.
Yeah, make her a character in Half. That'd be so funny if they like added an Easter egg in Half-Life 3, and it's the Steam Cat Girl.
Mm.
Oh gosh.
It
I'm
would
down.
be super viral.
I'm down. I'm 100% down for that.
Dude.
Oh, are you guys gonna buy anything? I'm eyeing over Silent Hill 2 because I've been wanting to get that for a while. I think I could have gotten a copy and reviewed it when it first came out, but it's too far out now. And
Dude, I'm trying to
do something like
determine what games are on sale that I don't already own. That's the thing. That's the other thing with Steam sales, is that so many of the best games on Steam you probably already own, like
Yeah.
Doom.
Yeah.
You probably already own both the Doom games, right? Both of the new Doom games, I mean.
That's also the problem.
Yeah.
All the good deals are stuff I've already picked up over the years, and so I'm now just looking at maybe newer stuff.
Yeah, stuff. I mean, I think maybe Valve knew about. Maybe Valve saw this coming. That's why they can keep doing Steam sales, because they know you'll own everything, and then you just have to look at new stuff that's like not not as much of a sale.
Yeah, Emily got Mass Effect Legendary Edition or whatever it's called.
How much is
She's
that?
into those. It's like $5 right now.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Dude, that's such a good game,
Yeah.
and it runs well on the Steam Deck, at least what I've played.
Yeah, it's
And
$6. Yeah.
All right, hold on. We should look at some sales ourselves. Let's see.
You know what game I want is UFO 50.
How much is that?
UFO 50.
It's $20.
Oh, that,
UFO 50. It's 50 retro style games made by Mossmouth and a bunch of other like indie devs, and it looks really great. And I've just been waiting for it to go on sale because I'm cheap.
well, it's like Action 52.
Yeah, that's the conceit. There's a story being told about the company that made UFO 50, and it is like Action 52. Like it's very interesting. It seems very
Dude, Action 52. You know what they should make a reboot of, a remake of, a remaster of? Action 52. No. That'd be so funny if they just released on modern systems. Dude, that reminds me too. They've been remastering games that the Angry Video Game Nerd has reviewed. Like they remastered Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. Yeah, have you guys seen those? Have you guys seen AVGN?
I've seen him. Yeah, I stopped watching him after he got acquired.
Yeah, so basically, it's one of his older episodes. But like, basically, it's like, oh, I can't even describe. You go watch the episode, Gardner.
Okay.
But then he also talks about like LJN games. I forget what games he talked about that they. Oh yeah, Corpse Killer is another game that they remastered. That he played.
Nice.
I don't know. It's an interesting trend I noticed. Maybe they'll remaster something else he's played.
Dude, you know what's on sale right now?
What?
Doodling's Arcade Sports Ball.
Oh, dude, roll the trailer, dude. It needs roll the trailer, man. It's a theme.
It's 40% off right now, which is I think that's the historic low that I've done. I don't know for sure. And also the deluxe edition, which comes with the soundtrack, which is objectively the best part of the whole fucking game. It's $5.38 right now for the deluxe edition and everything.
Did you compose the soundtrack?
I did like 2 like hidden tracks, but like I've paid my favorite internet band of all time, the Brothers Nylon, and they made just this amazing soundtrack. Have you heard it before, High Tech?
Not like in a vacuum. I've played a little bit of sports ball.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's good. It's like funky 70s style retro. Like, yeah, it's great,
dude. All right, hold on. Let's see. All right, let's look at some games that are under $10. Let's see what the top sellers are right now. Wait, how do I? The website layout is kind of weird during these sales. I'm not sure I like it, to be honest. I don't know. It's crazy. I can't find the like area where you would see like top sellers. Oh well, we'll just do it this way. Let's see. Rainbow Six Siege 80% off, $3.99. The Elder Scrolls Online $1.99. Dead by Daylight.
If you go through that list, it's going to be a long time. Like,
yeah,
we're going to be here for a while. Like they these are a lot of these games that you're seeing that are on sale for that cheap usually are almost every sale, I feel like.
Yeah.
The ones, so if you see something there like Rainbow Six Siege, you'll most likely be able to get it for around that price next sale. So just as a heads up to people.
Did you know that Dead by Daylight's getting a Tokyo Ghoul crossover character?
Which is crazy. That is a crazy crossover, but at this point I'm not shocked. They do so many weird crossovers. I'm here for it though. It makes me want to go jump back in and play more.
Yeah, they're bringing a Kaneki Ken from Tokyo Ghoul into it as a killer.
Yep, man, that game has such a bad gameplay loop, or else I'd play so much more of it.
Yeah, same.
They have Alien, they have so much stuff, but it's so boring to fix.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, I have that stuff, and I have those packs, and I play them for a little bit after a pack comes out. But repairing a generator gets so boring after the 80th time.
Dude, what they should have done is they should have made Nicolas Cage a killer.
They didn't. They made him a one of those.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They should have made him like an unhinged serial killer. That would have been awesome.
That would have been interesting. But
Dude,
yeah,
Stellaris is only $10 right now. It's 75% off.
Stellaris isn't.
Yeah,
that's how you pronounce it. It's not Stellaris.
I don't know. I say Stellaris because I'm an American. Stellaris, sure. But basically, I reviewed that when it first came out on my channel, and it was basically Star Trek, and I love that. Dude,
let's see. Skyrim's on sale, the special edition. Yeah, not surprising. What else? Let me see. Let's see what's notable here that's on sale.
If you haven't done so yet, the Mass Effects, like you mentioned, Half-Lives, those are always on sale for really good deals, and they're such good games.
Hold on now. The actual good version of Disco Elysium is on sale, $9.99.
Oh, nice.
Buy it before it gets TikTokified.
Dragon Age the Veilguard is half off.
Dude, Dragon Age the Veilguard, is that any good? I haven't heard about it since it came out.
Emily's been playing it. She likes it. I don't like those kind of games, so don't ask me.
Like action RPGs.
Yeah, it's not my style.
I like them. I just the last Dragon Age didn't. I got bored. So.
Oh my God, Doom, 2016 is $1.99.
No way.
Dooms are usually pretty good deals too. Yeah, that's a good one though, and that's such a good game.
Yeah, Undertale is 99 cents. If you haven't played Undertale, Undertale, play it. Play Undertale. Undertale is one of the few games that actually made me weep. Like when I beat it, I was crying. Like I'm not kidding. Undertale is a beautiful game.
Yo,
I like that Doom 3 is more expensive than Doom right now.
Am I a monster for doing the genocide run after the true run? I might be.
Wait, you did the genocide run after the true run?
Yeah.
What? I don't see a problem with that. I mean, as long I feel like it would make you more of a monster if you did the genocide run without knowing that you were doing it.
Dude. To be fair, though, I played it a little bit after everyone talked about it, so that's why I kind of knew not to do the genocide run first.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure I probably would have done the genocide run first if I went in blind, like completely blind.
Yeah.
Maybe I am. Maybe we are the true monsters all along.
Right.
I'm getting
Sounds like someone's trying to get in contact with you, High Tech.
I'm gonna turn my phone off.
Yeah.
Ooh, Liza P. That's another one that I've been interested in getting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're at about 2 hours here. You guys, are there any other games you want to mention before we wrap this up?
No, let's do it. I'm just gonna sit here and shop.
Can't think of anything in particular. But I will say, Steam sales. Let us know what you guys get. I don't know what you guys are gonna buy these days.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments of the YouTube video. You can also use your Mastodon or your PeerTube or your PixelFed account. Can you use PeerTube? Probably not. but you can probably use your Pixel Fed account, and you can send us a comment on the Fediverse. There's a link down below on how to do that.
There is one game I want to mention.
Yeah.
It's a little like indie game called One Way Heroics. Normally it's $3.49, but it's on sale for 69% off.
Oh.
It's $1.08.
Nice.
It's a roguelike, but like not like a action roguelike, but like a true turn-based roguelike.
Mm.
And it's like an auto scroller as well. It's super fun. You should play it.
Nice.
And the DLC is on sale. The DLC is on sale for a $194, and it's like a whole new like update to the game. I know it's like more expensive than the base game, but they're both like really cheap. You should get it.
Mm. Yeah.